Hello everyone. In this video, we will see construction of Robbit as part of additional constructions. Let's go to step 1. In step 1, we take two L plates, one here and one here. Now these two L plates are connected using one flat connector this side, one flat connector this side. You need to understand that long edge of this L plate is this side, whereas the long edge of the L plate is at the top here. We also attach one motor with motor shaft. Please watch the position carefully. Let's move on to step 2. In step 2, we attach one rectangular plate to the L plates which we had in our earlier step using one nut bolt here and one more nut bolt here. On this rectangular plate, we connect one flat rotator using one nut bolt at this point and one more flat rotator using one nut bolt at this point. This gives us two circular holes at the bottom here. Let's move on to next step. In this step, we attach one more rectangular plate to the other side of those L plates using one nut and bolt here and one nut and bolt here. And as we have created the circular holes in the last step, we create one more circular hole using one flat rotator and nut and bolt at this point and one more at this point here. We also attach a DC motor with motor shaft at this position. Let's move on to step 4. In this step, we are connecting one big axle through these two holes on the rear side. The axle is passing through both these holes, through and through. On this side of the axle, we are putting one spacer, then we are putting one small gear and one more spacer on the outer side here. Then between these two rectangular plates, we are putting two shaft locks, one on this side and one here just behind this rectangular plate. And then on the outer side of the axle, on that other side of the axle, we are putting three spacers. We are also putting one shaft lock onto the motor shaft, then putting big gear and then locking it with another shaft lock. On top here, onto the motor shaft, we are putting one spacer. Let's move on to step 5. In step 5, we are connecting wheel onto this axle and locking it with a shaft lock, this side as well as other side, both sides. Then we are using one medium axle and putting it through these front holes, through and through. And onto that axle, we are putting a spacer on both the sides from outside the rectangular plates. Now we are creating the head assembly of the rabbit. And for that, we are using two square plates. We are connecting it with one 1-inch bolt and nut. It's loosely coupled at both ends, so we keep lots of space in between that. Then to create ears, we are using one flat rotator and one 0.5-inch bolt and nut this side, one flat rotator and one 0.5-inch bolt and nut this side. Here we are using one L connector which we are attaching onto the square plate this side using one bolt. Same way, using one bolt, another L connector attached to this square plate. And to these two L connectors, we are attaching a flat rotator using these two nut bolts. The square hole of the flat rotator will be mounted onto the motor which is protruding from the top of the body. Let's move on to the next step. So here we have attached this head onto the motor shaft which was protruding out of this and locked it using a shaft lock. Here we have connected one medium gear and locked it with a shaft lock on this side as well as on this side. And that completes our Robbit or robotic rabbit. Make it, operate it. You can move the head of the rabbit as well as we can take the rabbit front and back. We have used big gear onto the motor and small gear onto the wheel that makes the rabbit go fast. Do write your comments about your experiences making this robot into the comment section. See you with another robot next time.